What's that?
So finally something Vance and I agree on.
Good morning. First off, I'm not good at this. My name is Brenda Weber, and I am a resident of Lake County. I'm here to talk to you about Lake County Animal Services. I'm here not speaking just for me, but the thousands of animals that have died in our shelter and the thousands of animals that will continue to die. As you can see, I'm passionate about this. Our lack of advertising, we have no advertising. Recently, we've had a change of head, and they're ripping out the counters and stuff because the money's not safe. When are we going to make the animals safe? If you can do this, you can pick up the phone and put an ad in. I'm upset about this, okay? The drop-off box. Why are we taking drop-offs when the shelter's open until 6 o'clock at night? Every day but Sunday. You got something or reason that you're leaving your animal in the drop-off during the day? We don't want it. We don't want other counties who don't have drop-off boxes to be dumping in our shelter. We have enough problems here. Okay? And my two favorite words these days is spay and neuter. As a rescue, forced to be a rescue basically, but as a rescue, I have recently taken 3 drop-off moms, is what I call them. People that use these poor animals for breeding all the time, and when they're no good, they leave them in the shelter. It's pitiful. But I've had them for 3 days, or 3 weeks, excuse me, and now I have 21 babies. We need spay and neuter. Do you know how long it takes me to rehome 21 dogs? A very long time. But spay and neuter for everybody is way cheaper than what we're doing here. We have 26 employees at the shelter that we pay. We have $245,000 in donated money. Let's reduce the fees. Let's fix these animals. Even if we allot $50,000 this year, set it aside and say when the money's gone, it's gone. But you know what? Next year we'll have another $50,000. Let's fix these animals and end this crime we inflict on these animals. I'm not asking you, I'm begging you to please do something. It's been 9 months. 9 months. You know, one of you did a YouTube video how you're disgusted in governments at all levels. How do you think we feel? We're in these shelters day in and day out, watching them begging to get out. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Do we have any other public comment?
My name is Patricia Bachner. I also run a rescue called RUFF Rescue in Central Florida.
I'm sorry, will you please spell your last name for the record?
Parker, P-A-R-K-E-R. And I'm also very emotional, and I usually don't talk well. But I just want to reiterate what she said. I've been doing animal rescue here in Lake County since 2005. And it's sad. And I work with other county shelters, and they have programs in place for spay neuter. They vaccinate their animals. They work with rescue groups. And we're trying, but there's only so much we can do when we need your help. And it's really sad. So many dogs here are getting put down. There are empty kennels in Lake County. And when dogs' holes are up, they're putting these dogs down even though they don't need the space. And that's wrong. And you guys need to work with us because we're really trying. That's all I have to say.
Madam Chairman, the county manager I know has been working on this. It's kind of got dumped with a couple of people leaving really quick, and I know David's been working on it. I wondered if he had a time frame when you're going to report back to us.
Yes, sir. We were originally scheduled to bring 3 items back to you today. We were going to bring the online registration back to you using the pet data. We were going to bring the fee schedule back to you. And we were going to bring the spay-neuter vouching that Commissioner Campione had worked with the local vets on doing. Unfortunately, Mr. Wellstead's abrupt resignation kind of left us in a hole, so we're having to go back and reconstruct all those work efforts. So right now where we are is we hope to respond to Mr. Kelly's operational audit that he's doing on the division this week, and the intention is to bring back the spay neutering, the pet data, and the fee schedule next month. So,
Okay, I mean,
so-
we want to do it as quickly as we can, but let's do it right. Let's just don't try to piecemeal this thing. If it's broken, let's look at it wholly and get it right before we try to start making too many changes.
And we were, I mean, I know I was very excited about this being on the agenda today. I mean, a few months ago, I was looking ahead towards this agenda knowing that we were going to be making some positive steps. And unfortunately, as David said, we've got to go back and piece together some of the work that had already been done, but that we just don't have access to. So I know personally I want this to move as quickly as possible, and I agree with Commissioner Cadwell though, we've got to do it the right way. There's some really great programs that I think we can take advantage of, and I know it's hard to ask for patience when life and death is the issue, but we're making progress. So we appreciate all that the rescue groups do. We hope that going forward we have better coordination and that we can work together towards the same ends, which is to get a spay and neuter program in place that will be effective and promote adoption of animals and get the euthanasia rates down. That's the ultimate goal.
And we also need to thank Jim Stiver and his entire staff.
Yes.
Public Works and Solid Waste for stepping forward. I mean, that was, that tells what you think of Lake County and what we're trying to do here, and we appreciate it.
Can I say anything?
Yeah, sure. Commissioner Connors?
I've been convinced over the last several months that there's a lot of room for improvement in our animal shelter. And I'm hoping that we can find the right person to take that over. But I think it's an area where, in fact, we already saw one audit. And I think it's an area where if we make a commitment as a commission and David can hire the right person, that I think that we can see major improvements in a relatively short period of time. But if there's one area in our organization right now where I think that, I mean, to put things in perspective, I think that across the board, we have a really strong organization, department by department. I think that the glaring weakness right now is in animal services. I really believe that. And I think that we're going to be able to, I feel confident that we're going to be able to make a lot of improvements.
And I would like to add, just for the discussion, I took the opportunity to visit the South Lake Animal League, and I was just really impressed with what they're doing. In fact, I have information packets that they gave me for each of the board members here. But I would encourage you to add to the discussion and trying to do it right, that we incorporate them into this as well, because we have a wonderful opportunity. And I do think the commitment, as you say, is going to at some point have to be defined. I mean, kind of coming from the world of setting level service standards and policies, I think at some point we're ultimately going to have to define in terms of a goal as to what kind of a shelter we're going to be. If we're going to be, completely no kill. We're going to have to define that sometime over a period of time. I know there's a cost that's associated with all that.
As opposed to being underfunded and undermanned, and that's where we are now.
That's right.
Sure, and it's good. And you're right though. It's going to take a lot of time to get there, and that's what
And Madam Chairman,
But
Yes, sir.
I'm Commissioner. I'm also taking a tour.
you're going to go.
I'm going Friday,
That's what I thought.
so I'm hoping to learn. And I think that was a very good suggestion that you made. We need to take advantage of the other rescue operations and of the people here that, I mean, we're not going to turn our department over, but we certainly can learn from their expertise, and we should. And I hope that's one of the things that we'll be doing in the future.
Well, one of the things that they do so well is that they really market trying to adopt the animals. And when you go in there, I mean, they had a cute dog in my arms 5 minutes into the trip. So, I mean, they're trying to, they actively try to get people to adopt. So
The invitation I got had kind of like a deadline. We need you to do it for a certain date.
Mhm.
I wasn't able to, so I didn't respond. So apparently that's not the case. If Commissioner Connors going down, it was.
Oh, no,
After like 5 days.
they're always open.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, they love what they do, so they're gonna.
Well, and I think that the things we're doing now, we've set a priority of things that have to happen. And as we all know, that with losing our director of department and so forth, there are certain things you just have to move up the chart as far as priority. But I think ultimately we're going to have to address the question of whether we have to make an ordinance change and actually to effectuate where we want to go with our policies. And to that end, I would suggest that as we look at our timeline on the priorities coming back to us next month, that we look at a workshop to look at different types of ordinances, because we're going to have that discussion. Whether we decide to go that direction or not as a board, I think we have to get that information out there, and we have to look at what other counties are doing.
And in that, David, if we could, where it fits into other counties' organizations. I know some counties, the sheriff runs animal control, some it's under emergency management. I'd just like to see a list of who actually runs it.
Well, we just have a great opportunity, and, you know, the downside is that when people leave, but when, you know, that's a great time to affect change, and so hopefully we can do that as we move forward with the right people in place. And, you know, Mr. Steiben's got a great history of working with the county and other departments, and so, you know, and unfortunately, it is still government, so it takes time. It's not going to change overnight.
My name is Ken Weber, and this is just to add to what all of you are saying. Hernando County, if you're going to go out and visit them all, or as many as you can, but Hernando County is not far from us. They're small. They went through the same process last year, or a little more than a year ago. They hired a vet to run their shelter, and it's been phenomenal. They hired a vet and a full-time rescue person that does nothing but advertise and work with rescue groups and stuff like that. And she's more than willing to come talk to you.
Do they have a no-kill ordinance?
They don't have not that I know of yet, but it's just totally different with the full-time vet there. She's there every day of the week, so she can spay and neuter anything during the week whenever her hours fit in. It's not 1 day a week, it's not 2 days a week. You know, she's more knowledge on all the animals, and her salary there is only $80,000 a year. So I'm just encouraging, when you're looking for the person to take over, you know, yeah, take your time. Maybe it would be a vet. You know, we have Gainesville's got vets coming out all the time, and we might find somebody that would come in.
Thank you.
Good point.